I just got nervous. Okay.
My name is Megan Fox, and Tyler might recognize me from movies like Transformers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm a little intuitive myself. Energy into my chakras. I have really psychic dreams, and I also will get information that just sort of plays on a loop in my head, and those are usually inexplicable things that I shouldn't be able to know. So I do think there is something there that I wish I could expound on.
Going to this reading, I'm really nervous, and it just goes to show that I still have my moments where I have no idea what's gonna happen. That's something that isn't super common, so I'll be curious to see as to why.
How are you? I'm Megan.
You're Megan Fox, oh my God.
Yes, you know me,
yes,
okay.
Of course.
I wasn't
oh my
sure.
God.
How are you? Come
So good. I recognize Megan Fox from being Megan Fox. It's Megan Fox, can you believe it? That's like, I'm like trying to like contain myself, but wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She was in Transformers and that one vampire movie. I love Megan Fox. Before I start, I always like to ask my clients if they've ever had a reading done before. So have you ever had a reading?
Yes, I've had several readings done before. I mean, I've done a lot of like palmistry, tea leaves, tarot cards.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I always like to ask that question because people have different experiences and through different methods and means of getting to connect.
Well, who's communicating with you?
Well, in a reading, it really varies. In a reading, I use both the messages from the other side, my guides, and then my intuition as well. Now, the other part of this is that I oftentimes hold on to an object. So did you bring any objects today? No? That's all right. So we'll see what we get. Without an object, I can sometimes open it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to put my energy towards anything specific. I want to let the universe bring it to me.
I'm just giving it to scribble and just kind of get in the zone. We'll see what pops in, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Because I trust that between my spirit guides and his, the right things will come through.
Okay, there. I'm gonna try to navigate all the different stuff coming in. They're actually having me keep in mind like your eyes.
Yes.
But there's something kind of interesting with this because they're having me talk about like getting this checked, and then like at some point I see like a discovery being made. It feels almost inflamed is the way I would describe it. Something a little unique. That seems doable. I don't see you going blind or anything like that.
But it's a vision thing or it's an aesthetic thing?
It's coming in as like the structure of the eye. There's something wrong with the structure of the eye.
But there's nothing to do about it? It just is what it is?
It literally looks like it doesn't contribute to blindness or anything like that. And there's nothing we can do to fix this.
Yeah, but am I gonna, like, my eyes are gonna, I'm gonna have like a half-closed eye?
I mean, you could work a glass eye. You could like look at that.
I cannot work a glass eye.
You could do that?
Nah.
This isn't hot. No, it's not working out. Well, then maybe, I think you're fine. It could just be even like a calcification of something. It's nothing serious. It's all good. Just
because I have to be on camera.
Exactly. Well, it's all internal. It's not like...
It's not gonna be seen to other people.
No, it's just the structure of the eye.
Okay, I can go blind in that eye.
Exactly.
I don't care. It just can't. I just have to, you know.
Who needs it? You just need one, honestly.
Okay.
We'll put an eye patch there and it will start a trend.
Okay.
I love it. All right. There. There. Mom's side. Two sisters. Mom. So weird. For some reason, they're having me refer to your mom, who's obviously living, right? I would assume. But they're having me talk about a situation, and they're having me talk about like change, transition, movement. This is coming through in a geographical sense. Mm-hmm. Where's Mom currently at?
Florida.
Florida. This is weird. They're putting movement like it feels like transitional. They're putting this like over the course of the next like, for some reason like the next month, they're having me like acknowledge like transition, movement, change. Do you have any plans to like leave Florida at all that you can think of?
She was okay until like a few days ago something happened.
Yeah.
So now she is going through a transition in her life right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if she moved maybe out this way.
They are having me acknowledge reminding her for independence, and there's just this, it's coming from her side of family, and it's like, don't forget your ability to be independent. You can do things on your own. You don't have to stay in a situation because of another person or other people. And it's basically saying like, feel free to make this move, and that she needs to know this and have like that confidence.
Okay.
That's what it's all about.
Okay. I wasn't anticipating him picking up so much from my mom, and that is a situation that literally just happened, I think it was 2 days ago. She started transitioning out of a relationship. My mom has always been really relationship-based her whole life, and she's going through a transition there. Yes. And I think you know, maybe because of her age, she's in her 60s, she may worry about that transition.
It's the weirdest thing, but I feel like some of the best years of her life have yet to happen.
Okay.
You're showing her breaking free. It's like this whole visual thing, and it's like now's your chance to kind of start and like start over. I keep hearing start over, start over, start over. It's a positive thing. I think she's on the right track.
I do too.
That's awesome.
My sister and I are always saying to each other, like, that's what we want for our mom, but we can't tell her. She doesn't listen to us. So maybe she'll listen to Tyler.
Okay, there. Thank you. It's so interesting. They're drawing a parallel between your mother and you. I don't know why. But they're having me talk about, at this time, being there for your mom.
Yeah.
And it's the strangest thing, because they're bringing up mom's situation in you. And I don't know why they're bringing up this parallel thing, but they're just like, it's basically like, they're having me acknowledge understanding, and like showing understanding and being there. But they're drawing this connection between the two. There would be one green. I don't know what this, I'm seeing green. Does that mean anything at all?
That's my husband's last name.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So for some reason they're having me talk about you. They're having me talk about the past 2 years. There's almost a recovery kind of a feeling behind this, like recovering, picking up the pieces.
To be in a relationship for your entire adult life, you go through great seasons and very difficult seasons, and sometimes you can feel almost disillusioned about, like, you know, that childlike, almost naive kind of love that you like to feel. Like, well, what is love really? I don't know, you almost feel maybe jaded.
The way this comes in is they're basically just having me talk about like kids settling and a feeling of like creating a stable foundation for them. When they're acknowledging you and your relationship with them, there's this feeling of like stepping into independence and being able to be independent. It's just like referencing more so to like a lot of responsibility being put on you, making sure kids are okay, making sure family life's okay. And then it's kind of like once we can work on that, then we can focus moving forward on these other things.
Yeah. What I took away from that was this is a time for me to really focus on healing myself emotionally and not unlike my mom, connecting to myself, prioritize my kids and making sure they're okay. And then at some point in the future, you know, love will be revealed.
Switching gears, let's see. I'm like going all over the place. There's this whole thing coming in, and this is like so random, but I just have to verbalize it. But there's an emphasis on like a Native American thing in the way this is coming through. And then they're also having me talk about like intuition. But there might even be like family stuff passed down, like from a spiritual sense, that would be attributed to something like way back. So do you have any Native American ancestry or anything?
Cherokee Indian.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you find this out?
My mother is the one that talks about it the most. I do have supposedly a long lineage of psychic women in my family.
Nice, very cool. What's your experience with this kind of subject matter?
It goes back, I guess, to my mom, really. We lived in a part of Tennessee where things like psychics, this sort of stuff was it was very looked down upon, and in our church, it was considered, you know, you don't do that. It's just something you don't do. So I think my mom was into that as much as she was able to be. My sister tends to see spirits. I don't see anything, she sees stuff. And then I have a thing that happens like with people I'm close to, my mom, my sister, my best friend, where even if I'm not in a room with them or in a house with them or far away from them, I will all of a sudden start feeling an emotion that's not my own emotion. And I have that issue of deciphering, is that my emotion?
Oh, I see.
And I don't know how you put up boundaries.
That's tricky. So there's two types of kind of intuitive receival. There's empathetic receival and more informational-based receival. I find myself really empathetic like yourself, and like people who are really empathetic will sometimes pick up on the overwhelming emotions of people, sometimes thousands of miles away.
But there's nothing you can do if it overwhelms you and you're like, I need a break so that I'm only feeling my own emotions.
I think a lot of meditation, taking vacations, for me being isolated, like when I'm not working, I just spend a lot of time alone or with my immediate family and not get constantly inundated. It's like why I don't go to New York, because like when I go, it's a guaranteed like attack psychically of just being overwhelmed, and I can't relax until I land back in LA.
That's an issue with me having to go to award shows or things like that, no one understands, like I have extraordinary anxiety and never want to have to do that. And everyone's like, you have to go to the Golden Globes. It's such a good thing to do. And it's almost like crippling. Like it's very difficult. And I see everybody else, they're drinking and eating and they're having a good time. And I'm like, barely breathing.
It's no surprise that you have issues going to award shows with anxiety and whatnot, because I think empathetic people just naturally are like sponges. They pick up on the thoughts, the feelings, the mental headspace of the people around them. The hard thing is there's no cure-all answer for empathetic people. I think just creating our own space, you know, deep breathing, as silly as it sounds, is actually something that can be helpful because it centers us, it grounds us. But I still don't have an answer for that one. It's the hardest part of my life as a medium is that social aspect.
I know, my sister knows, my mother knows. We all think we're psychic. I mean, it's definitely something that I believed was real. But, you know, sometimes you talk yourself out of it also. You're like, well, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm making it all up. Maybe it is a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence. And people who are around me for a long time have seen a lot of weird things go on.
So I actually live, like, right over there.
Oh, do you? Sometimes when you do these things and you seek out people and you hear someone's intuitive or they're psychic or they're whatever, sometimes you don't get a good vibe, and he has a very good vibe. Do you still live with your family?
You know, funny enough, I moved my family in with me.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good.
My mom and my dad were super close, so.
He's just very gentle and kind. It's almost sort of like a restorative reading is what I would say, I feel.
It's super interesting. Look at that.
What do I do? Can I do like a ritual with these?
You
and
can.
a secret message will appear?
You could do it. If you just go woo woo woo, it'll, like after 3 times though, specifically,
3
like
times.
your loved ones will pop out.
Wow,
do.
they'll actually manifest from the paper?
It's a new feature.
And also, to be able to call my mom right now and comfort her in this moment will be, I'm happy to be able to do that.
It was so wonderful meeting you, Megan. Seriously. Of course. Hope to see you again.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. See ya. Okay, that was, I just read Megan Fox. That's insane. Yeah, I literally am trying to process that. You know, that was a great reading. I'm like shaking. I read Megan Fox.